Bienvenido a otro episodio de Lunch with the Shark. Acompañemos mientras nos adentramos en discusiones sobre negocios, contabilidad y finanzas para ayudarte a construir un negocio que prospere. Ahora siéntate a comer con tu anfitrión, The Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Lunch with the Shark. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and an amazing month, amazing week. How's things going? How's everything going for you, your family, and your business? What have you done based on what we spoke yesterday? Are you starting to create a schedule? Are you trying to create a morning routine, something that keeps you focused? If you notice, last week or this week, we've been talking about the impact that COVID-19 has had in our lives and in our businesses. Monday, we spoke about the industries that were affected. Tuesday, we spoke about the industries that were on the up and coming and they were not affected. Yesterday, we spoke about managing your time. And today, we're actually going to talk about a new business model that has been born after this pandemic hit the world. It causes me a lot of intrigue because as most of us know, a couple of days ago, Beirut suffered a huge accident in their port. And unfortunately, hundreds, I think 145 based on the last numbers, people lost their lives and thousands of other people have been injured. But what intrigues me is that in that part of the world, they are barely starting to see the spike on their virus. And I was listening to one of the news, and this guy was saying that the day prior to the accident, the prime minister had declared a national quarantine, and that everybody was at their houses because the hospitals were to capacity. That people at that point, it was yesterday, I think, since they were so packed, the hospitals, there was no way for them to receive immediate help. Every part of the world, it's coping with this pandemic. Every city, country, nation, it's coping with this virus at a different stages. We've heard that Asia has been out of it already. There's some spikes again, but nevertheless, they're coming back to life. And I mean coming back to life is like they're reactivating their economy, they're reactivating their activities, they're reopening their schools to a degree, and things like that are happening in other parts of the world. Now, as you probably guessed, our lives have changed dramatically since the global pandemic has taken hold. It started it. And it's very interesting because first people didn't think it was a big deal. Like at the beginning stages, and most leaders of the world thought about this. People are blaming Asia, that China could have taken a better action in informing the world, blah, 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 blah. The United States, people are saying that President Donald Trump could have taken better decisions and immediate actions. Certain governors in the United States, the president in Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, people are saying that he could have taken better actions, so forth, so on. We all thought that it wasn't a big deal. Then we thought it was a big deal. Like, holy shit, what's going on in the world? Then We thought, no, it's not that a big deal. After the quarantine, the first quarantine went through, people started in getting back to their routines day to day, trying to make the best out of it. But now we're back again to shit. This is a big deal. What's going on? So as you can see every day, the severity of the pandemic changes. One day, we're told that, oh, things are going down. Another day, oh, things are going up. So it's a balancing, juggling act. I think my mom told me today, schools are going to be back in session in California by the end of the month. And there is going to be 3 or 4 different ways kids can go back to school. Kids or their parents are going to select which is the best for them, and it's going to be okay. Mexican schools, they're starting, I think, on the 21st. And the same thing, kids can go to school, kids can have a school from home, kids can go to school through the internet or through TV. The 4 major TV stations in Mexico are cooperating with the government and implementing a special channel so they can get classes to the kids and things like that. But everything, it's not contradicting, but it's evolving. I don't know if you remember at the beginning of this, we actually spoke about that COVID. It's a virus, and it's a living organism as a virus, and it's mutating, it's changing, and it's changing, and it's changing, and so forth. It has changed our lives. People call it our new normal. It's not a new normal. It's reality. It's life. It's day to day. Whether you want to see a new normal every single freaking day in your life, that's fine. But it's life, day to day. Period. Right? So, as you can see every day, the severity of the pandemic changes. So, as a business, you need to really be ready for the changes that the market, your clients are demanding, but that the government officials are imposing. Yes, they are imposing in our businesses. Mind you, the majority of our businesses are regulated by government rules, by government regulations, by government licenses. Okay? So you need to be prepared for everything. You need to be prepared for with a new business model. Have you metamorphosed or whatever into this model? Remember, the butterfly has to die first to become a butterfly. And this is what's happening in our life, and this is what's happening in our businesses. We've spoke about the life cycle of the businesses, and we said that if you are already in certain phases of life, like senior years, or you're having imminent death, it's better for you to kill the business and phase into a newborn phase. This is not applicable to a point in this business model, because we're not telling you, or I'm not telling you, to kill your business and start it again. No, you need to adapt your business model to the life. You need to adapt your business model to your clients, to your market, to your ideal avatar. Okay? You must know your ideal avatar, how you are reaching to them. Okay? How are you talking to them? But you also need to listen. You need to listen to that market. You need to listen to what they are demanding or requesting, not to what you want to give them. Okay? I cannot repeat enough that you must listen to what they are demanding and requesting, not to what you're seeking to give them. Okay? Don't try to sell them. Don't try to sell them. People hate to be sold. People hate to be told what they need to buy. People do listen to solutions. Offer them the solution. What's the new solution, or what's the current solution to your clients at this precise moment in life? Business, it's a life. Okay? So, to truly survive in this ever-changing, and this is really a true ever-changing business environment, you have to be ready to change, to face the reality of the situation of your business. If not, you're going to die. You are going to die. Restaurants. And I'm going to talk about my experience here in California. Restaurants. March 17 came, and we were told to shut down completely. What were restaurants supposed to do? Most restaurants do have to-go services, okay? But it was a minimum portion of their revenue. Their to-go services was 10, 15% of their revenue, okay? Not every single restaurant was subscribed to Uber Eats, Grubhub, any of those Postmates, any of those applications that are so relevant at this point in time for their delivery services. Okay, so what they had to do is they need to call, or they had to call their representative or whomever they know to sign up, because delivery was their only revenue stream. Period. Delivery became their primary source of revenue. Were you prepared as a restaurant owner if you're a restaurateur? During this pandemic, businesses are having to close the stores or having to file for bankruptcy. There's multiple national chains of restaurants, movie theaters, clothing stores that have not paid their rent since April. Just they plain simple can't, because they've been shut down for 3-4 months. What do you think is going to happen? Some retailers, some shopping centers are going to have to declare bankruptcy because they're not going to be able to pay their mortgage. They're going to have to defer their mortgage. Lawsuits are going to be back up in the courts. People are going to be filing bankruptcy just to get a safeguard against any possible legal action if you have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in your business. So we have not seen this happen yet because the government is trying to support and mediate and prolong this process. But that doesn't tell you that you need to be sitting in your ass, not doing anything. And that's my assumption. You do not need to be sitting in your ass waiting for something to happen. Okay? What have you done in your business to change and adapt to the current conditions? We've said that, oh, you're too late, you should have done it already. Never it's too late. If you start today, perfect. You're going to be late based on your industry, based on the market. You might have lost already all your clients. It's going to be a little bit complicated to gain them back because they probably already went with somebody else that it's not that they were prepared, but they were ready and willing to accept the changes. They were ready and willing to accept the life impacts that things were happening in their businesses. Whether through Zoom meetings, online fitness classes, takeout cocktails, companies in nearly every industry are pivoting to get through the crisis. Everybody brainstormed with their team. Everybody, or the majority of the industry leaders, said, let's take massive action. And they took massive action immediately. They are not fearful to failure. They took massive action. Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. Take massive action. If you focus on there's a crisis, there's a problem, nobody's selling, your focus, it's in the problem. Your focus, it's in the majority of the people. Your focus, it's not as a leader. Your focus, it's just the crisis. Your focus should be outside this little box. Your focus should be on not the majority of my colleagues, not on the majority of the same industry that I'm at. If somebody is thriving in this crisis, that it's in your industry and you're not, beware. Because they will become the leaders in the industry and you are dead. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I am not being pessimistic for your industry, for your company. You're dead. You're better off seeking employment. You're better off opening or creating a new business in another industry because you sat down in your ass looking around and just contemplating the crisis. I'm being very harsh, but I'm being realistic. A lot of people had done this, but the majority of people that I've known, they have taken major action to think outside the box, and as a matter of survival, they have adapted to a new business model. Even though they did not believe or it went against their beliefs, it had to happen immediately. It's like when you have appendicitis. Appendicitis cannot wait days or months or years. When you have appendicitis, doctors immediately take you to surgery to extract your appendix. It cannot wait. Against your belief or against your wishes of not having a surgery, you're going to have a surgery. They're going to extract it. Most of us, if not all, we hate change. Most of us, if not all, we hate uncertainty because our lives are ruled by certainty. It's very easy and it's very convenient for us to have everything steady. There's actually a phrase in Latin when it comes to the economy that it says, ceteris paribus. Everything is constant. Economists love that phrase. Economists love that status. Ceteris paribus, with no change, with no impact. Everything is normal. Everything is fine. I can just sit down, go to the beach, and take a couple of pina coladas, beers, or whatever you want. Do you want to become or go back to ceteris paribus? Do it. Change. But change as much as the market asks you, and change as much as it's needed so you can become, again, ceteris paribus. Or even a inclined line that it's going up. But beyond short-term fixes, listen to just what I just said. Many innovative new strategies and business models have emerged that are likely to stick. We said it yesterday. Are you doing projections when it comes to time management and or blocking time and or projections? Are you doing projections for 1 year? Are you changing just for the time being because everything is going to go back to pre-COVID-19? If you think that everything is going to go back to pre-COVID-19, you're wrong. Just look into history. What happened to the world? And mind you, what happened to the world after September 11th? The world was impacted dramatically and drastically that nothing has gone back pre-September 11th. What leads you to believe that the world as a whole, it's going to go back to pre-COVID-19? If you're planning or creating changes in your business, temporary, I have news for you. You need to create changes that are permanent and to the future. Here are a few of the businesses concepts that have gained traction over the past several months thanks to the pandemic. And this is not rocket science. This is just a matter of innovation, trial, error. But people that have succeeded are not afraid of change and failure. People are not afraid of change or failure. People are not afraid to go into their markets and distort it. Distort your market. But people that distort their market or are not afraid of change and failure, they know who they are. They know who's their market, and they know the market. How do they know that? Because they have data. And not data that it's online. Data that they produce, data that they validate, data that they use on day-to-day operations, now previous to COVID-19. They listen to their market. They listen to the world. They listen to understand. They not just listen to react and respond. The dating industry. Dating while social distancing. People may be sheltered in place, but they haven't stopped looking for love. Love and connection, it's one of their human needs. Love and connection. Dating apps have reported an uptick in usage during the pandemic of over 26% increase in the messaging sent. They've grown. Even though there's no human contact, or they're advising us on non-human contact, many apps have adjusted the way people can meet by texting each other first, then switching to video if they agree. This feature has increased revenue for the apps while giving people what they want, a way to connect. Human beings, by definition, we are interactive humans or entities. Love and connection. Love and connection has not gone. Love and connection is not going to disappear. What they've done is they've adjusted to their market. They're giving them what they need by listening to the client as to what they want. It sounds like a riddle, but it's not. They have adjusted to give the client what they need based on what the client has said they want. Delivery-only restaurants. As the coronavirus pandemic escalates, restaurants across the United States became delivery-only almost overnight. Like that. Ghost kitchens have normal branding and menu online and offer delivery, but they aren't attached to a brick-and-mortar restaurant where people can sit and eat. These restaurants have reduced fixed cost through increasing profit. I've noticed on my Facebook feed that I've seen probably 6 or 7 ads of people renting or leasing kitchen spaces. Kitchen spaces, commercial kitchen spaces for chefs that have lost their job or that their restaurant is closed, so they can work from those kitchens and offer their own menu. If you are a chef and you have been always wanting to open your own restaurant, here's the opportunity. You don't need a food truck. You don't need a brick and mortar restaurant for now, or maybe for a couple of years. And you can start by leasing a space on a commercial kitchen and open your virtual restaurant. I've seen chefs also create virtual cooking classes. They utilize Uber or any food delivery, and they'll deliver your own meal, unprepared, portioned, and they are teaching you how to cook it. Listen, they are teaching you how to cook it, and you're paying for it. You're paying for the food, the ingredients, and the class. That's thinking outside the box. Yeah, that's thinking outside the box. Direct-to-consumer movie premieres. Yesterday, we heard that the movie Moana from the live feature, it's going to be released in the United States at this application, Disney Plus. It's going to cost $30 per subscription for us to see it in premiere. There's no movie theaters right now. So what did Disney do? Instead of archiving that movie or postponing the release for a couple of years or next year or whatever it is, they decided to launch it as premiere in their platform for $30. Regularly, a movie ticket in the US, at least here in San Diego, it's like $15, $18 per pop, per person. So you have 3 kids, your husband, your wife, whatever, it's 5. Going to the movies, it's a bit expensive here in the US. So you're talking about in the upwards of hundreds of dollars. So for $30, you're going to be able to get that movie and stream it 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 and stream it. And you know how kids are. Once they like one movie, you are going to see it for life, well, at least for several months. You're going to memorize the dialogues. You're going to memorize the songs. Hi, Anna Georgia. We love Frozen. We love The Little Mermaid. We love every of those movies. Even though we love them, we now know pretty much every single dialogue. So you're going to have the opportunity to see it over and over and over and over and over. You're going to have it in a digital copy. So after a few highly anticipated movie premieres were canceled this spring and this summer, some studios decided to forgo theaters altogether in favor of direct-to-consumer debuts, premieres. While studios and theaters typically split a film box office gross 50-50, studios make about 80% of their sales on digital releases and merchandising. So you can see studios make more money spending the movies or sending the movies direct to consumer. They knew that. But the movie industry, they love the red carpets, they love the premieres, they love to showcase their talent, their artists. So now they're going to be done in a different way. But they're still going to generate revenue. If they launch the premiere on their platforms or at another platform, call it Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, the Peacock, the new Peacock from NBC, whatever it is. Now, in turn, they're going to be able to also promote the merchandising. Merchandising is a huge part of a movie. Here, look. I have this one from I don't remember the name of the movie. I'm really bad with movie names, titles, but merchandising is huge. So instead of sitting down and complaining or sobbing about the crisis, they're taking action. Oh, but they have tons of money. They have a humongous team. You don't need a humongous team or tons of money. You need creativity and you need the will. And it's not a matter of survival. Although these businesses have created new business models to combat COVID-19, some businesses have just added or pivoted to increase their revenue. Some examples, and we spoke about that. Restaurants. Some restaurants have added pre-packed meal kits that you took home and cook in your own kitchen without a virtual class. Or remember at the beginning stages of COVID, where supplies, groceries were almost very, very limited. Toilet paper, don't you remember? Drinking water, that we thought that we were going to have tons of diarrhea and the water was going to be short. Well, some of the restaurants, they created basic supply kits where they provided you with eggs, milk, ham, pancake batter, water, even toilet paper, because they had access to wholesale suppliers that still had availability of those items. Everything was included. All you had to do was prepare the meal, mix the ingredients based on the recipe. It was a great way to get the family involved and provide valuable branding inside the home of the purchaser. If we don't frequent this restaurant that much, but Lazy Dog comes to mind. They were some of the ones that I knew that they had those prepackaged meals, and also they had those prepackaged supply kits. If I needed something, the first thing that came to mind is like, oh, I'll order from Lazy Dog. Bars and breweries. To supplement their income, many bars and breweries had to include food to open under being a food establishment. This move has helped many bars and breweries from going out of business while providing an additional revenue stream. Mind you, here in California, several weeks ago, we were allowed to open in phases, but due to a spike in cases, we were shut down again. Okay, and restaurants, bars, and nightclubs were completely shut down for indoors. They can only serve outdoors. But bars and nightclubs and wineries, if they only sold alcohol, they were not allowed to open. So in order for them to continue to be open, even though they had an ample space outside for service, they had to include food, but substantial. Okay, not chips, pretzels, or peanuts. No. It had to be substantial. I know of several restaurants, several bars and wineries. You know what they did? They team up or partner up with food trucks. They team up or partner up with those chefs that were unemployed or laid off or in a furlough, for them to cook from their house or from a commercial kitchen and deliver pre-packaged, pre-made meals so they can sell at their wineries or breweries or bars. They adapted it. Just a winery. How am I going to be serving food in my winery? Well, do you want to sell wine? Or you want to just shut down, close, and see when the hell you're going to be able to open? It is harsh. It is hard. But it's reality. You adapt or die. And it's not a matter of the survival of the fittest, or just a survival instinct. No, it's not. Because we are no longer on survival mode. We have to be on a change mode to the future. Hairstylists and barbers. Hairstylists and barbers were unable to open their doors until I think it was phase 3 or 4. Now, they were completely shut down. They're unable to open indoors, and many of them have moved outside to provide this service. I know of some hairstylists that have said, oh, this is against our company policy. How am I going to be serving my clients on the side street, on the parking lot? Well, bring your equipment from the inside to the outside. Do it nicely. Do it professionally. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to do so. Do it professionally. Do it nicely. They're allowing you, mind you, again, government regulations, they're allowing you, your industry, to change, to metamorphose into an option of providing your service outside. Compartments, divisions, privacy, if you're like whatever it is. This is giving them the opportunity to recover the customers coming in on a more consistent basis, providing a better cash flow for their business. I know of several hairdressers, barbers, hairstylists that are completely booked for weeks to come. If you're in that industry and you're not completely booked, I wonder why. So if you're interested in having a conversation with me, with somebody from my team, go to invictus-advisors.com/shark to sign up for a conversation about your business. We'll talk about your business. We'll help you pivot. We'll help you move towards the fear of change. And I'm not going to fix your business in 15, 20, 30 minutes. Trust me. A system, a program that tells you that you're going to make $10,000 in 5 days, they're not going to deposit $10,000 in your bank account in 5 days. Even though you don't believe it, in the back of your mind, you're thinking about that. You need to put in the work. You need to put in the hours. You need to put in the effort. You need to do it. I am not going to push you and help you generate $5,000 immediately or $10,000 immediately, because I'm going to have to be pushing you and pushing you and pushing you and pushing you so you can make $10,000 every time I push you. It's not possible. It's not feasible. You won't change. But we will help you with tools. We would help you with some mindset that you're going to be able to push yourself through that door to generate $10,000 in new sales or revenue or whatever you want to call it, X amount of money, like whatever amount of money. I'm not promising you anything. It's all up to you. And you can do it. You just have to be willing to change. Give us a call. Sign up for a free consultation. And I think it's here. It's going under invictus-advisors.com/shark. Remember to send us your kits video. We're still having this contest supporting young entrepreneurs, young sharks succeed. They have amazing ideas. Their frequency, it's lower than ours, so they can actually perceive everything clear. They'll tell you as it is. They have no filter. which is what I love about the kids, that they have no filter. They'll tell you the most logical answer to your stupid questions. And I mean no offense about the stupid questions, but it's true. They'll give you the most logical answer to your questions. They'll sometimes give you the answer that you're looking and you've been trying to find for years out. You're like, shit, because they think logical. They think logically. They have no preconceived conceptions of stupid ideas. They're clear. They're clean up here. I'm not saying that they're empty up here. They're clean of prejudgments. It's very easy for them to think clear without any complex or problems. We are so fearful of failure that we want to give the correct answer, even though we know it's not. Think logically. Think easy. The solutions are so simple, but we try to make it so complex because we want to look out to the external world as, oh, we know a lot. Oh yeah, because of this and this and that. The solution is so simple. So send us your videos, kids@invictus-advisors.com. And to finish today's Lunch with a Shark, I'm going to quote our 35th president of the United States, John F. Kennedy. And he said, one of his quotes, "Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future." Let me repeat this. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. It's been great talking to you today. Thank you for tuning in. Any questions, shoot us an email. Follow us on our social medias, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, US, Mexico. And have an amazing afternoon. Bon appetit.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with a Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com, and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.